Okay, boys, let's talk about this. There's been a lot of questions regarding how do I get the third Ascendancy done, or the fifth and sixth point of Ascendancy. So here's the thing. The way you do it is that you have two different options. You can either run one of these or one of these. So here's the problem. The Jin Barya is for the Sekemas trial. Now, the Sekemas trial is also what people that play PoE 2 is referring to as the Sanctum League mechanic. I personally absolutely hate Sanctum. And I think that anyone who enjoys it is actually either a psychopath or a straight up literal mass murderer. Now, there are those people that do enjoy it, but, you know, there are also mass murderers out there, so my theory seems so far to be very accurate. That's one way of doing it. The other way you can ascend, if you will, to get Ascendancy nodes is to do the Inscribed Ultimatum. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Ultimatum, but it is 1,000 times more fun than the Sanctum Idiocracy. That is my personal take, and it's not biased at all, and I think everyone will agree with me. If you don't, let me know in the comments below. However, actually don't. I don't want to see those comments. Don't tell me if you disagree with me. Anyways, Ultimatum is, in my opinion, actually very overtuned in the current state of PoE 2. They come in 3 different variants. The Ultimatum has a number of trials, either 4, 7, or 10. The first time you engage with this type of mechanic for ascending is in Act 2, and you get access to Jin Barya, the Sekemas trial, or Sanctum, and it's a number trial 1. What that refers to is one entire floor of the Sanctum mechanic. And what this does is that it gives you the first Ascendancy. Next time you engage with one of these 2 mechanics is then later in Act 3, which you get access to the very first Inscribed Ultimatum, which is 4 number of trials, which will give you the second Ascendancy, which is number 3 and number 4 of your Ascendancy nodes. So realistically, it makes sense to me that if you have 2 number of trials on the Jin Barya, that would give you the second one as well. Because they've said that you can choose to run either or mix them. And it also made sense to me that if you do number of trials 3 on a Jin Barya, which looks like this, I believe I dropped one earlier, like this, that says number of trials 3, which is how I got my third Ascendancy, you do this one. That makes all sense and it's great, right? It's very logical. I don't know if there's a number of trials 4. We haven't seen one yet, or at least I haven't seen it. However, in the current state of the game, the second Inscribed Ultimatum, which is 7 challenges, realistically, based on this information, should give you the third Ascendancy, or Ascendant, which is your number 5 and 6 nodes. That doesn't actually compute. Because here's the thing. I've literally done it. I did a 7 trial ultimatum the other night, and I did not get my third Ascendancy. And I blew through so many tries trying to beat it because it is extremely overtuned. Still couldn't do it. I had to resort to my number 3 trials Jin Barya of the idiotic experience of going through the Sanctum Insanity. That's how I got my third Ascendancy. So number 4 trials on Ultimatum gives you the second Ascendant, but number 7 doesn't give you anything. I don't know what happened there. And then chat was telling me that number 10 gives you the third. So then I'm very confused. What gives you the last Ascendancy nodes? I have no idea. But I will say this. I feel like Ultimatum is extremely overtuned. The modifiers to it is crazy. So if you do decide to do Ultimatum, I would recommend that you don't do it at level 62, 65. I'd rather say wait till you're 75 or higher before you do it, which is insane. The other part was the Jin Barya with 3 trials. I'd say anywhere above level 70, depending on the build you're playing, is good to do it in. But you also need to go through the entire mechanic of the Trial of Sekemas, or also known as the Sanctum mechanic, to beat it. And you might fail a few times, but make sure you pick up the goddamn relics. And these relics will allow you to have certain modifiers that applies to your run, like safety for your honor and stuff like that. I don't know. I just feel like it's super overtuned, and I don't like the way they set this up as well. Another thing to point out is when you go through the acts, first time you engage with a trial Ascendancy is, again, early on in Act 2. You get to, where is it? Here, Trial of Seconds. There you go. Level 22. You get this very early on. And if you engage or get the opportunity to ascend at this level, you will almost always make sure that you actually do so because, you know, it's supposed to give your character power. But if you don't like the mechanic, it's not really optional to do something else because you're in a position where if you want to do something else, that's at the end of Act 3. So now you have to go through an entire act and then some before you get access to do the optional version instead. And I'm not personally a fan of that. The idea was that it was supposed to be optional, and I feel like it's forced on me. Because I'm not going to go through leveling a new character, have the possibility to do my first Ascendancy, and skip it because I hate the Sanctum. Now, I will say that I hate Sanctum so much that I might actually be willing to do that, but I care more about my character power, that I will very likely just force myself to do it. But then again, it is forced on me, right? And I don't really like that approach. I'm not sure if other people agree with this, but I mean, let me know in the chat, and if you're watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments down below. And that's all I have for you in this video. And I will say this to round this up. I really, really hope the third one is much better than these two options. That's my personal take on this. And I'd like to add as well that I hope that they give us the possibility to engage with this early on, because I feel forced to do Sanctum. And I don't want to be forced to do Sanctum. It's the last thing I want to do in this game. I hate it. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, stay safe. Keep rocking.